So, we've almost made it. After 8 months of waiting, Epic Mickey Rebrushed is set to release next week, and I couldn't be more excited for it. But with the arrival of Rebrushed, it means the end of my weekly Epic Mickey YouTube videos. So for my last video in this 8-month-long series, I thought I'd talk about Epic Mickey and why it holds the title of my favourite thing ever. My Epic Mickey story began on November 18th, 2019. Nah, just kidding, I don't remember the exact date, but I know it was at some point in 2019. I was at school, and I must have finished whatever the teacher had tasked us with that day, since I was just googling random things. I can't remember exactly what I was typing into the search bar. It might have been something about Disney or Mickey Mouse, but regardless of how I got there, I ended up on the Google search page for Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. I think I was just fascinated by his history as Mickey's older forgotten brother, and I was instantly hooked. And in a completely unrelated event, I was also scrolling through YouTube's recommended section when I came across a video by TPM Vids talking about Disneyland's audio animatronics. All the creativity mixed with the technology just really interested me as well. And so for the first time since 2016, Doctor Who took a backseat as my current obsession, and now I was all about old school Disney. So now you've got me, someone who's now obsessed with both Oswald and the retro Disneyland. If only there was a thing, like, I don't know, a video game maybe, that featured Oswald as a main character, and also took heavy inspiration from Disneyland's layout. Enter Epic Mickey. I was instantly sold on the idea of Epic Mickey from the beginning, and it quickly rose to the top of the things I wanted to own. But there was one hurdle I had to overcome before embarking into the world of the Wasteland, being that I didn't own a Nintendo Wii. Now, you're probably thinking that I could just emulate the games, since who in their right mind is gonna buy a whole console just for 2 games? Well, back then, I didn't really understand how emulators worked. Plus, I don't think the computer I had access to at the time would have been able to efficiently run Wii games. So in order to cope with my Wii-less existence, I turned to the internet, and came across the perfect Flash game to hold me over. That game being Epic Mickey Path Painter. That's right, my first adventure into Wasteland wasn't a multi-hour 3D epic. It was a several-minute 2.5D point-and-click where you moved at a snail's pace, also with a disturbing lack of lucky rabbits. But it did succeed in hyping me for the real deal. Eventually, I bought a Wii secondhand for around 50 Aussie dollar bucks, although I still was without a copy of the actual game. But I didn't have to wait for very long. It's kinda funny, since looking back, it feels like the universe was practically pushing the game into my hands. During one of my rare trips to a movie cinema, I actually found it. Not actually in the cinema, mind you, it was in the window of a pawn shop next to the cinema. And for only $4, it was practically begging for me to buy it. I explicitly remember saying quite loudly as we were driving past, "That shop has Epic Mickey!" A couple of days later I bought it, and to this day, that is the only time I've seen the original Epic Mickey being sold in person. I actually went back to that store a couple of other times to see if they had anything else worth buying, and unfortunately, when I went there in around March this year, the shop wasn't there anymore. So RIP random pawn shop next to the cinema, it will be missed. But my copy of Epic Mickey will always be a reminder for it. You know, on an unrelated note, it's kinda funny that I had to buy a whole console to play the original Epic Mickey, and yet it still cost me less than Rebrushed is going to. So anyway, now I had the game, and I could finally embark on my first journey through Wasteland. And it was amazing. And the fact that I'd seen 0 playthroughs before starting it made it even better. Granted, I wasn't exactly a 3D platforming pro, so I did get stuck a few times, but overall, exploring Wasteland was awesome. That is, until I got to the Lonesome Manor Ballroom. Initially, I tried to fix the organ like a responsible citizen, but then that was proving too difficult for my inexperienced self, so I got a bit mad and broke everything. In the game. I broke the organ in the game, not my physical Wii, don't worry. But after that, I also couldn't figure out how to get past the organ. I mean, I do know how to do it now, but I didn't back then. So I got so stuck that I deleted my save, and that brought me right back to Dark Beauty Castle. I did complete the game on my second attempt though, and it was awesome. Just like it's been every time since then. So now that I had completed the original game, I was after more Epic Mickey content, and there's no better place to start than the sequel. This time, the game didn't conveniently turn up in a shop window or anything, so my mum had to order it online, and she also paid for it, on the condition that I had to be a responsible model child for a few weeks. And then I got the game. But this wasn't as straightforward as you'd think. let me tell you about the tale of Epic Mickey 2, Broken Edition. So, I started the game, as you do, but as I progressed throughout the first episode of the game, the disc became more and more difficult to be read by the Wii. Sometimes I had to reinsert the disc up to 10 times just to get it to work, and then by either Disney Gulch or Bogizzy, I don't remember exactly which one, the disc stopped being readable entirely, so I had to buy another copy. So while I was waiting for that, I watched some gameplay videos. Mostly some by a channel called Gameraki Games. His intro at the time is very nostalgic for me. I eventually got another working copy, and I finished Epic Mickey 2. I remember mostly having fun with it, although it did get quite frustrating at times. And what did I do with the broken copy? Well, I kept it. And since then, it's not even the only useless copy of Epic Mickey 2 that I have. Well, useless to me, that is. I have an unused copy of it for Xbox, which I got out of the Epic Mickey 2 Collector's Edition, and a second-hand one for PC, which I got for the rarity factor. After completing the first 2 games and Epic Mickey Path Painter, I played Power of Illusion, and I remember quite liking it until I got stuck on a level and just never finished it. To this day, Power of Illusion is the only Epic Mickey game I haven't completed. So before I knew it, there were no more Epic Mickey games to discover. That didn't mean I was done with the series. I sought out both games' graphic novels and the Tales of Wasteland. I bought the official novelization and waited forever for it to get to Australia, and then I finished it within a day. The only book I didn't end up reading is the art book, which I know I could find online somewhere, but if I'm gonna read it, I want to read it physically. And I don't think I'm gonna be affording that anytime soon. I also got some of the merch, like the Oswald Funko Pop and the Epic Mickey 2 Collector's Edition. And that was about it in terms of official media. Now let's get into what the fans have been up to. I remember being quite excited when I heard that Epic Mickey 3 was being made, even when I later realised it was a fan game. And I was still excited when it switched from a sequel to a prequel. And then neither happened. Oh well. At least we got Epic Mickey Awesome Edition out of it. This video gets 1,000 likes, so I'll play Epic Mickey Awesome Edition in my live stream. The first Epic Mickey fan project that I was involved in was a fan dub of all of Epic Mickey's cutscenes. At first I was the voice of Donald, then I got added as Mickey, and then I became the leader of the whole thing. It was quite a ride, let me tell you. I uploaded all the parts onto my old Animations Down Under YouTube channel, which is now Animations Down Under Archives. And that was about it for a couple of years. Sometimes I'd come up with an idea that never went anywhere, and sometimes I'd get involved in projects that also went nowhere. But little did we know what was happening just under our noses for 3 or 4 years without us knowing. When I woke up on the 22nd of February 2024, I was expecting it to be a regular Thursday, only for the first thing for me to see when I do my morning social media checks to be a Reddit post titled, "An Epic Mickey remake has just announced at the Nintendo Direct. This is not a drill. I repeat, not a drill." My first thought was, nice April Fool's joke. Hey, wait a minute, it's not April. I mean, there'd been whispers of a remake ever since I got into the fandom, but at this point, I think everyone had just unanimously agreed that Epic Mickey wasn't coming back. But lo and behold, I checked YouTube, and yep, it's back. I think it took a good couple of weeks for it to sink in that Epic Mickey was indeed back, and that I wasn't in some kind of dream world. I would have 100% believed you if you said that I'd been dreaming the past few days, that Epic Mickey wasn't doing anything anytime soon. But since then, it's been pure Rebrushed Hype. And I've chosen to channel that through my YouTube channel, since I don't think my friends can handle the already egregious amount of Epic Mickey lore I already tell them on a regular basis. So, when I started 2024, I decided that I would focus on my YouTube channel and begin to upload again on that, since it was kinda dead. And no joke, I had written a script and literally the day I was going to record was the day that Rebrushed got announced. You know how I said it felt like the universe was practically throwing Epic Mickey at me? Yeah, this felt like it was that again. And while it did take a few uploads, I grew a pretty sizable audience just on Epic Mickey videos, and I'm pretty proud of that. Seeing someone I don't know in real life say they like my stuff is amazing. I just don't have words to describe it. And now I'm gonna get to the sentimental part of the video, where I talk about why I love Epic Mickey. Now, I hate to place so much of myself on something that at the end of the day is a corporate's IP, but to be honest, I don't think that I'd be making videos here today without Epic Mickey. Epic Mickey tells a story in a way that I've rarely seen in any media, let alone in gaming. Granted, the gameplay might not be as good, or the camera, but in story, it tells one of regrets and resentment and two long-lost brothers reconnecting, all whilst using history as a tool to tell their story. It's a story that I think most of us can relate to, and in a lack of a better word, it's epic. Warren Spector has often said that Epic Mickey is a highlight of his career, and I can't help but agree with him on that. And even outside of the games themselves, they've still allowed me to meet and talk to lots of awesome people, and to grow an audience who all love what I love. It's allowed me to build a legacy in a weird way, and I'll always be thankful to it for that. I love the game in a way that I really can't put into words, so I think that's me mostly done. But first I'd like to invite some guests to the stage to talk about why they like Epic Mickey. Take it away, EpicMickeyFan.
Oh gosh, oh boy, oh gee, I get to be part of the video. Thank you, Animations Down Under, for inviting me here. Oh man, Epic Mickey. Yeah, obviously you could tell I love Epic Mickey. It's in my name. I am EpicMickeyFan, the one and only. Yeah, I remember when I made my social media accounts for the first time, I hadn't really discovered the community yet, so I thought I was the only one, so I'm like, alright, I could just make EpicMickeyFan. I'm the only one. It's my defining thing. Then I found the whole community and I was like, oh man, I should have picked a more unique name, but I don't know. Now I'm just Epic Mickey Fan, or EMF. I remember my first experience with Epic Mickey is I was going on the Disney website a lot as a kid, just playing different games on there, looking at stuff. It was either there or YouTube or something that I saw these advertisements for a new Mickey Mouse game, and I didn't fully understand how peak it would be yet. I was just like, oh, fun, Mickey Mouse game. I was like 5 at the time. So I asked my mom for it. But I didn't have a Wii. She was saying, this is actually the first time, my first experience with console exclusivity. She had to explain to me that I couldn't get it because I didn't have a Wii. I was like, oh man, I was really bummed. But then, she got me a Wii for Christmas, and Epic Mickey for Christmas, so that was one of the most monumental Christmases of my life, of course. I started playing it a lot. It was kind of hard for me as a kid, so I didn't actually finish it by the time Epic Mickey 2 came out, but even still, I was really excited for it. I marked my calendar for the day, and then started playing it even before I finished the first game. Then eventually I started playing the game again. Waddle. Later down the line, I joined the community. I'm having problems with my Wii, so I haven't played it in a while. So this is like my revival of my Epic Mickey fandom. I find a subreddit and Discord, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's other people here. These are my people. These are my people. Then I get back into the game again. I start playing it over and over. I 100% it so many times. I'm like, this game still never gets old. It's just beautiful. Why I like it after all this time is just, it's that really kind of special video game that only happens like once a lifetime. It takes these beloved things, and which are usually in like lighter, funnier situations. It gives them an actual serious story. It gives us cartoon lore and stuff like that. The gameplay, everything is just masterfully done. The music, I can't leave out my boy Jim Dooley. My reaction when Rebrushed was announced, oh my gosh, I remember. I was offline for the day. I wasn't using my computer. I was just doing other stuff around the house. I had YouTube on the TV. Then I saw this thumbnail for Epic Mickey Rebrushed. I was like, okay, this seems like some fake fan game. I don't know, why don't I check it out? I watched it. This was like a real thing. I was like, oh my gosh, was this on the Nintendo Direct stream? So I went and watched the Nintendo Direct. It was real. That was the most shocked or excited I've ever been in my entire life. I was squealing so hard that my mom ran into the room to check on me. She thought I was hurt or something. She was so mad when she saw it was just me getting excited. Thought I was hurt. So yeah, I was seriously excited. Oh man, I immediately started trying to find out everything I could for the game. I was really hoping they would make a collector's edition. I was waiting to buy it until they released it. And then they released it while I was at work, so as you know, it sold out in the first 3 or 4 hours, so I didn't get a chance to get it. Finally, thank God, it was in Walmart. It restocked at Walmart, so I was able to get it. It was all awesome. I'm so excited to play it on the 24th. Thank you, Animations Down Under, for having me. I'll take it off to the next person.
I am Pleasant Gradient. If you know me, you know me. Even though I played this game a lot as a kid, I honestly really don't remember my first time playing it. I think all my memories of the game have been overwritten in a way by all my new memories from the past couple years. But anyway, even if I don't remember the exact days where I would sit down as a kid on the couch playing this game on my Wii, I still know that this game completely changed the way that I look at video games. Even if Epic Mickey doesn't have that in-depth of a your choices matter kind of story, it's still the first of its kind that I played. And I really look up to Warren Spector because he was the one who helped me realize just how powerful video games can be as a medium for telling stories. As a student learning game design, I don't have anyone else that I look up to more than Warren Spector. Anyway, late 2020 and early 2021 is when I finally started to get into the community and started to make videos about the game. And because of the Epic Mickey community, I was able to meet a lot of really good friends who are probably my best friends now, and we ended up meeting in real life a couple times. And that's exactly why it's so weird for me to see Epic Mickey Rebrushed even exist. Because the original game quite literally changed my life so profoundly, probably more than any other game that I've played. It's just really, really great to see that the remake has such a passionate team of people behind it who really care about the game and really care about the franchise just as much as I do.
Hiya pals, it's me, Alon, or better known as Mousekefan. I'm thrilled to be here to talk about Epic Mickey. I was first introduced to Mickey and his gang when I was very young watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Since then, Mickey has been a big part of my life and has shaped who I am today. As I've grown older, I've developed a deep appreciation for Mickey's adventures over his 95-year history, and Epic Mickey stands out to me. It was the first Mickey-based video game I ever played, and the story is truly fantastic. It's also more significant in Disney history than you might realize, as it was the first Disney project to feature Oswald the Lucky Rabbit after Disney reacquired the rights to the character in 2006. Of course, hearing about Epic Mickey getting a remake was by far a huge surprise and something I did not see coming. I can't wait to try out Epic Mickey Rebrushed when I get the chance. I have a feeling it's going to live up to its name. And now you know that this is not one of my shorts, and I'm going to pass the microphone back to Animations Down Under. See you real soon!
Up next is SlayCap, who wanted me to read their bit instead of them doing it, so here's what they had to say. I don't think I have much to say. I do find it funny how I'm not really much of a Disney fan, yet Epic Mickey is my main interest, lol. Like, I found out about Epic Mickey through the Epic Mickey files by Animat. Something about the game and its history resonated with me for some reason. I can't describe it. It's just a very interesting game. And the developers put a lot of care into the game, down to the little details. It's all very cool. I think it's crazy how we've unearthed a ton of scrapped and rejected content and projects over the last 4 years. So, that's it. Epic Mickey is back, and I'm just so glad that it gets a second chance. Because out of anything else, I think it deserves it the most. I'd like to thank everyone who ever liked or watched or subscribed to my YouTube channel, since you're the reason that I keep doing this. Going into this, I didn't really have any expectations, but they've still been blown out of the water. So thank you to everyone. I'll still be around, just not doing the weekly stuff anymore, so feel free to stick around and see what I have in store. And that's it. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the other side.
On January 1st, 2024...
I mean, what are the chances that a re-release gets announced while I'm making this video?
I guess we'll just have to see how the horror projects turn out.
Which is that Epic Mickey is getting a remake coming to all consoles.
The 2010 video game Disney Epic Mickey is pretty well known for being, well, the video game.
I think it'd be nice if they re-released the Epic Mickey art book, because that book is great, but probably not $310 great.
Even before Epic Mickey was released in 2010, Disney was really hyping it up. The Italian Epic Mickey Collector's Edition includes the main game in Italian, the Epic Mickey graphic novel, also in Italian, Walt Disney Treasures DVD set, The Adventures of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, also presumably in Italian. As the version listed on the official website is the Standard Edition, meaning that it could imply a collector's or deluxe edition. And it was announced that Epic Mickey Rebrushed will be released on the Wii. The classification for Epic Mickey Rebrushed was changed to R. They'll be able to purchase the continent of Australia, meaning that I'll officially be Disney property. April Fools! Because the only thing more epic than Mickey is Mickey but weird. We now have brand new footage of the Epic Mickey remake, and let's see what they changed. Mickey jacked up.
This place is littered with old Mickey merchandise, since it's the place also dumped all the Mickey items that fell into the wasteland.
I can only imagine the whiplash of working on a superhero action comics to working on a comic for a Mickey Mouse game. You're in the forest. Horace. Right now. Well, now I'm back with part 2. as we get just a itty bitty bit closer to finding Oswald. It's like we're about to enter a second beginning to the game series. I thought I'd take a look at how it was the first time around. But all the way back in 1992, gamers got Mickey Mania, a brand new game revolving around the older aspects of Disney history, with levels taking the form of 2D platformers based on old Mickey Mouse cartoons. Epic Mickey 2 is kinda notorious to the general public as the game that shut down Junction Point Studios and ended the Epic Mickey series. First up is the brave little tailor costume, taken from the 1938 cartoon of the same name. Under the surface of Disney World, there are a series of top-secret utilidors. Maybe that's where Walt Disney's frozen head has ended up. I'm just kidding. Has Epic Mickey Rebrushed's release date just been leaked? Gus must have switched a few lines in the process. Since in Epic Mickey 2, Telephone is female, meaning that technically, Disney's first trans character was an Epic Mickey. Epic Mickey is a game that's all about forgotten characters and scrap concepts from old Disney projects. So, what happens when the dev team behind Epic Mickey scraps something? Warren Spector, I need answers. So let's delve into the Epic Mickey Wiki's page for scrap content and see what could have been. The European website for the edition does still have copies, but as of now, we have 11 Epic Mickey videos remaining until Rebrushed comes out. Better make them as good as possible.
A well-known media like Doctor Who or Gravity Falls. Now, I'm sure at least 95% of people watching this knows what a Funko Pop is. They're just about everywhere. Yeah, shout out to my dad for buying me a new microphone for my YouTube videos. Now I know what you're thinking, that version's not rare, you just get it on Steam. And yeah, you got me there. I'm just gonna stick with my inferior 480p Wii version. Who needs better graphics when I have multiple save slots? Meaning that once you went through a projector once, you had the choice to skip it and go on through it again. Which I think should be added into Rebrushed. So if you've watched at least a couple of videos on my YouTube channel, you've probably picked up that I have a bit of an affinity for Mickey Mouse merchandise. From books to figurines to plush toys, I've got it all. Or did they? Epic Mickey 3, The Power of Tabloids.
I can't believe the dog lied to me.
Have received the first piece of fair enough.
What I do know is that Oswald holds the paintbrush in this game. Disney did what Disney does best, and merchandise the heck out of Oswald. So, D23 just happened, and we got our first playable Rebrushed demo. We also got an Epic Mickey panel. So, as you can probably guess, I wasn't at D23. Do I look like I can afford a plane trip to California for an Epic Mickey demo? Like everything else Rebrushed related, this is something I'd love to own, but I ain't paying more than $300 for it. I can explain the camera, and then they basically explained that I had to rebuild the camera system for Rebrushed. And then Warren said, we are not going to talk about the camera. It also means that they'd know what fans wanted in a remake. So there is a small chance, just a smidgen, that the Rebrushed dev team, heck, maybe even Warren Spector, has watched my videos. I mean, a profile called Warren Spector is subscribed to my Epic Mickey YouTube channel, and that thought kind of freaks me out. So, if you're one of the people who watched my first video, which is now private, you'll know that I said I was going to do reviews as well as live stories, which I only did one of. And you bet I'll be there day one, playing the first brand new Epic Mickey game in 12 years. Hi guys, welcome back to the Animations Dead Under YouTube channel. As you might have heard, there is a new demo for Epic Mickey Rebrushed. Try again. That was a joke, mostly. I started YouTube because I was a small idiot child who thought he could be a millionaire making YouTube videos. That philosophy didn't hold up very well, so the Brits can fight the true villain of every World War II book. Epic Mickey is a 2010 video game, released for the Nintendo.